Hey, good afternoon, guys. Joe DAgostino from DAgostinoPhotography.com. I just wanted to do a quick little video here about this new lens combination I've been trying out. I often write about a lot of different combinations on my website, different systems that you can use, different gear that you can use, and one of the popular posts that I put up there was using your Fujifilm GFX medium format with the Contax 6.7 105mm f2.4. Phenomenal lens. I was using a Kip-On Babies focal reducer on that system, and it really has some interesting results. Check out the website, look on that blog, and you'll see some images there and get a feel, of what that would look like and if that's something that you guys would like to use on your camera. But lately I've been experimenting with the Contax Zeiss 85mm 1.4. Phenomenal Zeiss quality, super smooth focus, just beautiful contrast and rendition on this system. And to be honest with you, I don't need a focal reducer, and it's a very small footprint. I mean, it's a lot smaller than the 105 is mounted onto this. No vignetting, wide open. Even stop down, it's pretty solid. But gorgeous colors, amazing bokeh and depth of field, and subject isolation. What this equals to when you adapt it is actually a 42.5mm 0.07, f.07. That's pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy depth of field. It's extremely shallow. It can be difficult to nail focus if you're wide open, but it can be achieved. And to be honest with you, it's pretty sharp wide open. I know a lot of people have been using the Canon FD 85mm, which I think is probably a little sharper from the samples that I've seen, but this does a phenomenal job, and it's about half the price. Canon FDs right now are going for anywhere from $600-700 upwards. You can get these around $300 to $500, so about half. They're in great condition usually. You just got to hunt for one. Gorgeous solid clicks on the aperture. If you're really concerned about the 1/4000th shutter speed with just mechanical shutter on the GFX, then what I suggest you do is pick up a ND filter. I'm actually using my 3-stop on the camera right now that I'm filming with, but I also have a variable, which is really not a big deal when you're dealing with trying to work with a mirrorless system, but this is a variable ND filter that I have here. And, obviously get yourself some step-up rings. I have a whole bunch of sizes here, but step-up ring and just ND filter on the front. And be honest with you, you can shoot wide open in really bright sunlight like today and not really touch the electronic shutter. Now, a lot of people say, well, what's the big deal with that? Why not just use the electronic shutter and take advantage of it? But I can tell you from experience that any little bit of movement with the electronic shutter is going to warp your images, and people's faces and bodies are going to stretch out, and it's not going to look pretty, and it ain't going to be anything you can use. So little ND filter on the front of this, and you can pretty much shoot wide open in a lot of scenarios. But even still, I stop down the f2 for portraits sometimes, and I'll throw some examples up, but I just have loved everything that I've seen come out of this lens so far. I was shooting some images of my daughter outside on her scooter and just, running around, and just that separation that you get is kind of that look that you're really kind of thinking of when you think about medium format, and it definitely gives you that nice look that you're after. You can also find the lens hood for it, solid metal. The way that this, when I was researching it, it's Contax Metal Hood 4, and it's two parts. So you'll notice that it screws on, and there's two different pieces to this. So make sure that when you buy it, you're buying both sections. It looks like it's called a 67/86 ring. And then that ring goes onto the metal hood. And then this goes onto the entire lens. You're gonna want a hood. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I haven't figured out how to get away with an ND filter and the hood at the same time, but I'm telling you right now, you're gonna want a hood for this because this lens does flare wide open because the element is huge. It's not set that deep into the lens and it's rounded, and you're gonna get some flare, and I'll post some images of that too. But real quick, guys, I just wanted to introduce this lens to you guys. If you haven't really thought about this lens, maybe take a look at it. I know people constantly shoot the Mamiya 1.9 on medium format, and you know, there's a lot of attributes about that lens. I've had that lens 3 times. I've never really been satisfied with it. The first one I had was, I believe, a C version, and the contrast was horrendous on it. It just lacked contrast whatsoever. And then I read up and did my research, and I said, oh, I need to get the N version. And I had 2 N versions, and although the contrast was okay, they were very soft, wide open, and I just wasn't happy with that softness and that glow, especially when I'm using a medium format camera where I'm really trying to get the resolution that I'm looking for. It just didn't offer that for me. This did. About the same price as a Mamiya 1.9, you can get the Contax 85. Now I know this is a 35mm lens, but it does cover the sensor. It doesn't vignette, and if it vignettes at all, it's very minimal, which could be corrected in post. But definitely look into this. I'll post some images up. Look for a blog post about this soon. I'm going to be putting something up on the website. And again, if you guys like what you see here, I'm kind of new to video, but I'm trying my best here. Please subscribe, hit the button below, leave a comment. I'm always super into helping anybody out as much as I can and answering the questions that I know something about. But check out the website, josephdagostiноphotography.com, and you can also find me on Instagram, and I post pictures every day, and I usually always tag or label what I'm using. So again, you can get some examples of some of the equipment there, and that's Joseph D'Agostino Photo. That's my username on Instagram. But again, guys, thanks for checking in and taking the time to watch the video. Thanks.